Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment from my brain, and today sit a while for we are playing some more franchise Hockey Manager 6 as part of the Ottawa Senators. So as I mentioned at the end of the last video, I played all the way up to July 1st so that I can take care of contracts and things like that. So that's been handled. I have my trusty sheet of paper next to me where I've written down some notes and whatnot. There's been a few things that have happened, so we're gonna start with the league news. Lots of retirement. Other than that, nothing much. One thing that's nice or that we should point out is that Hartford moved to Carolina, so now it's going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. Other than that, one of my very favorite players, if not my favorite Sens player ever, Marian Hossa, finally entered the game. He's an alpha star with 5-star potential. I'm probably not playing him just yet, but he's coming, thankfully. So let's go ahead and take a look at what has happened and what I've done. There's quite a bit to go through before we start simming. Then I'm probably gonna, as usual, just sim all the way to the preseason and simulate the preseason, see where we're at, and then we're probably gonna stop there. Alright, so near the end of June, the Blues fired Rick Dudley as their coach, so he was gone and they hired Barry Trotz instead. So Barry Trotz still coaching today in today's NHL, so that's a name, if you follow hockey, that should be familiar. And the Sharks fired George Kingston as their head coach as well. And they went for Rick Dudley, who just got fired by the Blues. And then we have Rob Zamuner, who donated time and money to cancer research. So Zamuner in Tampa Bay is now a better person. Alright, and then we have a bunch of retirement, so we'll try to go through them pretty quickly. So Zino Cicerelli retires at age 37. He was playing in Colorado. Bruce Driver retires at 35. He was playing for the Islanders. Dave Hannon retires at age 35. He was playing for Buffalo. Dale Hunter retired at age 36, of course, playing for Washington. So we won't get to see if he can get to 30 games of some suspension or anything like that. So that's done. Done deal. Kelly Kisio was playing for the Sharks. He was 37. He retired. So the Islanders lose another defenseman, Tom Curvers, retired at age 34. Kirk Muller in Montreal retires. He was only 31, so Kirk Muller retired a little early in my game here, so that changes things for Montreal for sure. Stéphane Richer in Boston retires. He was 31 as well. Mike Ridley in Washington retires at age 33. Thomas Steen in Phoenix retires at age 37. Kevin Stevens in Pittsburgh retires at age 32, so again, that might change things a little bit in Pittsburgh. I mean, they still have awesome players, but Ron Wilson retires in St. Louis at age 41, so he lasted quite a while. Then we have the players that join us. Again, I really like that they have added that this year. That's new from this iteration of the game. I love it. So we have Marian Hossa that join us. So yeah, he's gonna become pretty good. He's an alpha star right now, 5-star potential. He's only 18. I'm probably gonna be playing him in the minors, at least to start the season. Then we'll see how he progresses. Then Magnus Arvidsson joined the team. He's 25. He's a left winger. He's a star and a half. Arvidsson was alright when he joined the Sens in real life, and I'm probably going to keep him in the lineup to start the season. I mean, he's not like an 18-year-old or anything like that. Yanni Horme joined as a 22-year-old goaltender. Josh Langfeld joined as a 19-year-old right winger, and David Van Drunen joined as a 21-year-old right defenseman. So those all join me. When the ones that they show you like that, those are players that come in with a contract already. So I don't have a choice of, am I going to sign them or not. So that's a done deal. So that was it for the news. So during the off season, I had quite a few scouts that needed to be re-signed. I re-signed them all. You all know how I feel about scouts by now, so that's been taken care of. But I also had an opportunity to change my goalie coach as well as my head coach, and I decided to part ways with both of them and hire new people. I feel goaltending has been letting me down a little bit last season. I feel that we've lost a lot of games because we were allowing way too many goals. And I got rid of the head coach because, well, he wasn't able to bring me to the playoffs. And this is a performance league, and I demand that we make the playoffs. So I went with real-life Sens connections. Not only because they were real-life Sens connections, they were also among, the best available for what I needed. So it just kind of happened that way. But it's going to make sense when I show them. So we're going to come here, and we're going to look at the staff. So for head coach, if you look here, I hired Roger Nielsen. So, of course, if you're really familiar with the Ottawa Senators, you know all about Roger's house and all of that stuff. Roger Nielsen passed away and everything, so we're not going to go into those details. But thing is that he was in Ottawa and he had an impact and everything, and I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, if you look at his stats, offensive skills, coaching forwards, I mean, it's all through the roof. Tactics and in-game tactics, pretty good as well. So he was one of the best coaches available. And given the connection with real-life Sens and everything, I thought it was a pretty good fit. Second connection is former goaltender Steve Weeks. So it was pretty slim pickings, and I just need him for coaching goalies. I don't need much of anything else out of him. So he has a 16 for coaching goalies. That was among the best, and former goaltender, Ottawa connection, and everything. So I was like, might as well get Steve Weeks. So those are our two coaches that I have added to the team. So welcome to Roger Nielsen and Steve Weeks. Welcome aboard. Hopefully we can go to the playoffs together. So that takes care of that. And then finally, we're going to take a look at contract offers that I've made. We're going to see a name where it might be, I might get the last laugh instead. Dang. All right, so Brian Berard is a rookie that we have, so he needed a contract, so I offered him a contract. Same for Brad Larson, and same for Ray Schultz. So Berard, Larson, and Ray Schultz, I have offered contract because they are my prospects and they have reached 20 years old. That's usually my philosophy with prospects. So they now have contracts. In the case of a guy like Ray Schultz, he's probably not going to play or anything like that, but it's nice to have him around just in case. We remember last year we were injury-ridden. And then scrolling through here, you probably saw what I meant by I might get the last laugh. I did offer a contract to Matt Cunnan. I do like Matt Cunnan. He might be a little similar in the type of player as Mike Sillinger and Jamie Baker are, but he's younger, 3-star potential, so I figured that we could take a flyer on him. There wasn't a lot of really good players available. Sadly, they all signed before hitting July 1st. Then we see here, okay, so Bill is finally available here. So Bill Guerin is the free agency. And as we know, I tried to trade for him last year. I wasn't successful, so I am throwing a bunch of money at him, hoping to lure him into Ottawa. So I'm offering him 1.75 million a year. That's pretty good. Hopefully he's gonna say yes. I want for him to say yes. He's 26, so he's in his prime. He's probably gonna be good for, at least a good 5 or 6 years. So I jumped on him. Pretty much the best free agent available. Then I went for a little bit more depth at center. I'm gonna take a flyer on David Viborny. In real life, he never really quite panned out. Maybe we're gonna luck out with him. He's a 2.5 potential, a little bit of offensive upside and everything. So if he can develop, he might become a second or third line center, or maybe play on the wing, something like that. So again, there really weren't a whole lot of extraordinary players to try to sign, so I went with a couple young guys that have some potential. And then finally, you might be familiar with this name, Tim Thomas. I signed him based purely on potential. I don't know what his development curve is going to be. If it's like in real life, he's going to take a long time to develop, and but I really signed him for potential. And if he becomes good earlier, then he's going to play in the NHL. So I need goaltending. That's not an immediate fix. There were no immediate fixes to be had right now. Maybe Manny Fernandez, but he was only a star and a half. So I decided to go for potential instead and try to ride Guilbert and Ron Extall still, and hoping that maybe they can turn it around. With the new goalie coach and stuff like that. So that's pretty much where we're at. Now, are they all going to accept the offers? My rookies are. The rookies always accept your offer for their first contract. So I'm not worried about that. So Berard, Larson, and Schultz are going to join. I really want Bill Guerin on the team. Well, I want them all. So I'm probably going to throw money at them like I've been doing in the past. You've seen me do that. Be like, just, take my money. There's no salary cap. I can still do that. When there's a salary cap, I'll worry about that later. All right, so let's start at advancing here and see where we're at. All right, so Matt Cullen contract update. So that's basically to let me know that he's considering it. Brian Berard, kind of same thing. Oh, Bill Guerin already signed. Awesome. Of course, I gave him so much money. Maybe too much. It's a game. I don't care. Alright, so I'm pretty happy. I was always a fan of Bill Guerin, even though he never played for the Sens. I've always kind of liked his style of play and everything. And I don't know why. There's players like that just kind of, you just kind of like them. There's not always a good rationale for it. I've always liked Bill Guerin. He was never the best player on any team that he's played on, but I thought he was pretty consistent for, a good chunk of his career. And I kind of like power forwards, so alright, I'm really happy about that. Alright, so Brad Larson, Viborny, Tim Thomas, Ray Schultz, Olaf Kozig dumps agent over lack of a new deal, so we've kind of seen that story news before, so in a few days he's going to be happy to have found a new agent. Ed Belfour attends leadership seminar. That's pretty good. So Belfour is becoming even more of a leader in Chicago. I'm not sure that he needed it, but that's a pretty nice trade. It's probably in the top 5 trades of importance we've seen in this playthrough. And it's between two division rivals too. So the Devils have sent Brendan Morrison and Dan Tribble to the Rangers for Tony Amonte and PJ Stock. So Tony Amonte, a 3.5-star player, had a 63-point season last year, 33 goals, pretty good. Brendan Morrison is an up-and-coming center. If you followed the NHL, he was on a pretty good line way back when with Vancouver, with Todd Bertuzzi and Marcus Naslund. That was a pretty scary line. So, yeah, he's a 3.5-star potential center, a pretty good player. Then Tribble is a 1.5-star, and PJ Stuck 1-star. So those are a little bit more like fillers, if you want. But yeah, that's a pretty interesting trade. I'm liking it. I like to see trades like that. And then we have a trade proposal from the Sharks. Ooh. Yeah. Alright, so I am being offered Marco Storm for Sheldon Souray. I'm going to say no. I think Sheldon Souray is going to become a much better player than Marco Storm, but that's one of the interesting trade offers that we've received. For once, it's not, the computer trying to trade me an alpha star player for another alpha star player. So that was interesting, but I'm going to have to say no. Alright. Oh, that's true. Now there's Bill Guerin wants number 13. I'm going to have to give him another number. Here, take number 10, Bill. I'm sorry. Oh, you're fine. How agreeable you are. Alright, and then we are the highest bidder on all of the other offers that we've made. So, all good for now. Now, sadly, there was still no really good left wingers available in free agency. So we're going to try to ride it out with what we have. Magnus Arvidsson might help a little bit, but he's still kind of around the same as, the Brunet and Yakmenevs that I've signed and whatnot. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. I wish I had a really good left winger on the team. I just don't. And Guerin's probably going to play right wing. I don't know, maybe they're going to move Deg to the left wing, and maybe he's going to do okay there. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Roger Nielsen's going to figure it out. That's his job. I just throw players at him, and it's like, fix everything. Alright, let's advance a day, see what happens. Alright. Alright, David Viborny wants more money. Okay. Here. There you go. Oh, Phoenix outbid me, but now I upped my offer, so he might come. David Viborny, okay. Ray Schultz signed, so alright. You can have your number 39, that's fine with me. Alright. Alright, we signed Matt Cullen. I'm pretty happy with that. So Matt Cullen's with the team. Brad Larson is with the team. And David Viborny is being a little too greedy for me. Better offer from Calgary. How much do you want now? Ooh. You want a lot. I am going to meet that. I am not going to go any higher. That's the more you're gonna get from me. If you're not happy with that, you can sign with somebody else. I don't think you're gonna be worth $1 million. Alright, Matt Cullen. Well, I'm not giving you number 22. It belongs to our captain. Matt Cullen. What number can you get? I'm giving you number 7. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that's the number you wore when you played in Ottawa. Although you played a lot later in your career. Wait, was it number 7? that you are? I think so. It's... my memory is a little fuzzy. So Brad Larson wants number 9. Yeah, I'm not gonna give you that. How about you get number 40? There you go. Alright, so Vibor needs some Thomas and Brian Berard still need to sign. Alright, Brian Berard signed with us. Sounds good. Viborny's still thinking about it. Some Thomas sign. Awesome. Yeah, they both want number 34, which is Brian McCabe's number. So I have to give them different numbers. So Brian Berard can have number 4. Tim Thomas, you're going to play in the minors anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You're getting number 30. That's a totally fine goaltender number. Alright, and there's only Viborny left, and I am not throwing any more money at him. Bobby Dallas in Florida hosts Charity Golf Tournament, so becoming a better person. We've seen that news before. I'm not gonna read through all of it again. And Olaf Kolzig signs with new agent, so he's pretty happy about that. Alright, David Viborny signed with us, so that's pretty good, I guess. He's expensive. I hope he doesn't become another Kevin Todd. Vladimir Tsiplikov and Warren Reichel pitched in at the local homeless shelter in LA, so they are better people. Here, you can have 36. I am not overly worried about which number you are wearing right now. Alright, so all of our signings came through. That's pretty good. I gave more money than I wanted to Viborny, but there's no salary cap right now, so it doesn't really matter too much. So now we are going to sim rather quickly all the way to preseason. Leaf Rowland of the Phoenix Coyotes endows scholarships at Hometown College, so we've seen that happen before with other players. Ooh, barbecue too hot to handle for Martin Gélina, who now plays in Toronto, so he burned himself. All good, he should be fine for the season. Well, all good, I mean, all things relative. For him, it probably hurts. It's pretty quiet, not a lot of trades, not a lot of trade offers. Ready? Alright, so Jonas Oglund had a amazing off-season workout, and he was a free agent, and I thought about maybe offering him a contract. He's a left winger, but I decided against that after all. Maybe I should have, because apparently he was training really hard. Alright, so we're gonna get some progress reports on our development report on our people. So Ivan Ciernik and Karel Rakunek. Alright, so Butch Goring is in the Hall of Fame. Pete Mahovlich is in the Hall of Fame. Bob Murray's in the Hall of Fame. And Darius Marek is in the Hall of Fame. All right, now we continue to advance this. Oh, we have a trade proposal from the Islanders. I wonder if they're coming for Sheldon Souray as well. They did lose a few defensemen to retirement. Yeah, they're offering me Marty McInnes. I am not going to say yes to that. Marty McInnes is probably a third line player. I have plenty of those. I don't need another one. Quiet month. It flew by, literally. Alright, so start of September we get some good stuff, and then start of training camp we get the real good stuff. Alright, so let's get a marshmallow. Alright, so September 17th is our first preseason game. So let's see, we're gonna be playing Tampa Bay, Detroit, Toronto, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Buffalo again, and then Detroit again. Wow. Okay. Alright, so we're starting to get scouting reports in again. Alright. Alright, we are about to start that preseason. So we are playing our first preseason game in Tampa Bay. So as usual, I'm going to go and take a look at their roster, and we can see how much they differ from real life and or from last season from my own playthrough here. But first, we're going to take a look at this training camp development report. All right. Ooh. Oh, okay. Because the Magnus Arvidsson's because of that line here where my mouse cursor is, I thought that, I only had those guys that were getting better, and that was all people getting worse. Alright, so Deg is regressing still. Kelly Johansson is regressing. Lonely Loach is regressing. And Zardy Zalewski is regressing. Okay. So Daniel Alfredson got only slightly better. He's now a 3-star player though. Marian Osa got, wow, a little bit of everything. That's awesome. Alright. Magnus Arvidsson got pretty good too. Or pretty good boosts, I should say. Brian McCabe. I found my here. Annie Horme, Niskash, Brad Larson, Langfeld. Alright, so all in all, pretty good. Now let's take a look. Okay, I have 35 players here. I want more. Let's bring more people. Alright. Oops. I wish there was a way to do that as a batch job. I believe everybody is up. No, I missed one. Who did I miss? I missed Scott Thornton. Excuse me. Alright, so we have everybody up. Let's take a look at Tampa Bay. Let's see what they have. Oh boy. So in net, it's not any better than it was. So they're going with Blaine Laker still. And Zach Bierk as a backup. Sean Chambers, Paul Mara, Pavel Kubina, Darren Van Imp, Mark Bergevin, Rudy Postchick, Joe Ricky, Mario Larocque, sorry. Andrei Skopintsev, Wazinski Zamuner, Brian Bradley, Graton Brengrinsky, Paul Comrie. Sure is Paul Comrie. Sergei Nemchinov. Oh boy. Well, I think we're better than them. So, take that as you will. But I like my lineup better. Alright, so for the first game of preseason, we're going. Oh, Guerin's gonna play on the third line. Okay. Well, it's preseason. We're trying things. Yeshin with Alfredson and Bagune, Sillinger with Deg and Peltonen, Baker with Guerin and Loach, and Marian Osa is gonna play center with Jodiel and Andreas Dackel. Kelly Johansson with Norm McIver, Zalewski with Zvela, McCabe with Jew. So we're going pretty much with our best players. And we're going with Gabag and net. They're going with Blaine Laker. We're going to go ahead and sim. First preseason game of the 1997-1998 season is underway. And we won 6-3. Of course, it's preseason, it doesn't mean anything, but alright, we outshot them 32-28. Good looking numbers there. Yashin, first star with a hat trick, 3 goals. That's pretty good. Alfredson, second star, 2 assists. And Alexander Degg, third star with a goal and an assist. So Tampa Bay actually opened the scoring. But then Yashin scored from Alfredson. And then Tampa Bay took a 3-1 lead. And then after that, it was all us. So Brune scored from Alfredson and Peltonen, Sillinger from Degg and McCabe, Yashin from Norm McIver, Yashin from Zalewski and Lonely Loach, and Degg from Peltonen and Perjuice. Alright, so the news here is probably to let us know that Yashin had an incredible game. Yeah, preseason. No stopping Alexei Yashin. Hat trick against Tampa Bay. We saw that. And Robert Zvela got hurt. Yeah, he's just day-to-day. It's preseason. Somebody else is going to fill in. Not worried about it. Alright. Alright, Cassidy can get number 38. That's fine. Alright. It's preseason, man. Who cares? Christian Laflamme. Here, I have number 23. I'm kind of just giving random numbers. Alright. Another one wants number 17. Here, you can have number 77 instead. That's twice. Or it's similar enough. Scott Thornton wants number 17 as well. Here, 25. It's preseason. You're gonna be fine with what I give you. Alright. Alright, that takes care of the numbers. And now we are playing Detroit. They are still probably pretty good. We are playing at home against Detroit. Now let's take a look at their lineup. So they have still Chris Osgood and Andy Moog in net. Andy Moog's getting old, but he's the backup, and Chris Osgood should be the starter there, 24 years old. And then they have Steve Chiasson, Marek Malik, Nicholas Lidstrom, Dan McGillis, Brandon Smith. Not to be confused with Brandon Smith, who was also a Detroit product, except like 20 years later. 14 years later, maybe. Vladimir Konstantinov, Jan Moran, Dopita Mike Eastwood, Jonas Oglund, Kozlov, Bob Probert. Alright, they're still pretty good, but I find them less scary than they used to be in the past. Now, are we going to win this? I don't know, because during preseason, they tend to not put always the best lineup. Yeah. You know that when you go against the Red Wings with Scott Thornton as your first line center, you know you're trying things, and you're probably not going to win. Alright. Well, let's sim anyway. So they're sending Andy Moog. We're going with Tim Thomas. And we lost 3-1. Wasn't all that bad, considering what we had playing. They completely outshot us 45-16. Steve Yzerman was the first star with 2 goals. Stan Neskash was the second star with an assist. And Oleg Petrov, third star with an assist as well. So Radek Bonk scored our goal, assisted by Magnus Arvidsson and Stan Neskash. And that was pretty much it for us. Jaromir Jagr out with a day-to-day injury. It is preseason, so more than likely he's going to be fine prior to the start of the season. And we have a trade proposal from the St. Louis Blues. They want to trade me Stéphane Quintal for Sheldon Souray. Gonna say no. Tempting, but no. I can do better. Maybe. Hopefully. Alright. So we are playing Toronto in Toronto. So yeah, Toronto still not moved to the east just yet. So still not rivals. That's coming soon too, I'm pretty sure. Oh, Wendell Clark came to camp unfit. How dare he? Alright. So Toronto have Grant Fuhr in it with Vincent Riendo. That's pretty much what they've been sporting for the last couple years. Daigneault, Johnson, Lefebvre, Matvichuk, Kellett, Mironov, Markov, Tremblay, Clark Mykoff, Frederic Modine, Chris Simon, Marc Bureau, Doug Gilmour, Todd Marchand, Yannick Perrault. Yeah. Still not a great team in Toronto. Oh. So in the wake of playing preseason, Bill Guerin's playing on the fourth line. I sure hope that that's not going to be a thing. I pay him $1.7 million a year. That's not to play on the fourth line. Although he does play in this game with talent. So. Alright, we are going with Tim Thomas again. They are going with Grant Fuhr. And we won 42. We outshot them 35-18. Alexei Yashin was the first star with 2 goals. So he has 5 goals in 2 games. That's not too bad. Martin Gilina for Toronto is the second star with an assist. And Daniel Alfredson a goal and an assist, third star. Looks like Alfie is starting to play better. So Alfredson scored from Brunet and Jamie Baker. Then Yashin on the power play from Zalapsky and Osa. David Viborny on the power play unassisted. And Yashin in an empty net from David Van Drunen and Daniel Alfredson. Alright, big game for Craig Janney, who had 4 assists. That's pretty good, but it's still just preseason, so don't get too excited. No one could stop Nick Lidstrom, who had 3 goals and an assist. Same thing, don't get too excited about that. Sergei Zubov has a great game. He had 4 assists against the Red Wings. Alright, we are now playing Buffalo. So Buffalo is our next opponent. So let's see how much they've changed, if any. Alright, so they still have Ashik and Pupa in net. Pupa is pretty much almost useless anymore. He's only an alpha star. That's his last year of contract, so they're probably going to get rid of him after this season. Oh, and they have Philippe Boucher, Hans Jansson, Grant Ledyard, Jason Woolley, Ronnie Sundin, I believe that was his name. Yep, Ronnie Sundin, Jeff Bukeboom, Keith Carney, Marty McSorley, Perez Svoboda. Wow, that right side is, aside from Svoboda, that right side is a little tough. Those are big people. And then Dave Andreychuk, James Black, Shane Corson is in Buffalo now. Curtis Brown, Brad Maydale, Howard Chuck, Pat LaFontaine, Wayne Primo, Donald Wood, Jason Duh, Steve Conowachuk, and Alexander McGillney. So decent, amazing goaltending, pretty good offense, but that D is. Yeah, there's a couple holes in that D, especially on the left side. Well, yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. We are playing at home. Alright, Bill Guerin's playing on the second line. I like that a little bit more. Playing with Sanger and Benoit Brunet. Alright. Come on, Bill. Fill the net. Make me feel good. Alright, they're sending Dominic Hasek. We are going with Gieba in net. So let's get this going. And we won by shutout, 3-0. That's pretty good. Alright, they outshot us 28-24, but we still won 3-0. Gieba first star with a 28 save performance and the shutout. Second star to Norm McIver with 2 assists, and Roman Amerlik first star with a goal. So hopefully Amerlik comes back strong. He was hurt most of last season. Andreas Dackel scored from Bill Guerin and Norm McIver. So Bill got on the score sheet. I like that. Amerlik from Brunet, and then Kelly Johansson from Norm McIver. Alright, great win. But, again, and I've said it a lot, it's only preseason. Sadly, we're winning. Go figure. Alright, so Kovalenko has a strong game. 4 goals and 1 assist. Wow. Alright. We are playing our next game at home against Pittsburgh. They had Kevin Stevens retire, so I'm kind of curious to see what they look like now. They're still going to be good. Don't worry about that. It's not like Mario Lemieux is now a 1.5-star player or anything like that. Alright. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh. Yeah. Alright, so Barrasso and Peter Skudra in net, so yeah, goaltending is not all that great in Pittsburgh. And then on D they have Adrian Aucoin, that's alright. Matthias Norstrom, okay. Sikora, yeah. Sam Wilson's getting a little older, but still capable. Larry Murphy is 36, still pretty good. Jeff Smith, nothing to say too much there. So yeah, the D is okay, but I think that combined with their goaltending, they might be allowing quite a few goals, maybe. Then they have Jagger, Jeff Daniels, Bob Harry, Ron Francis, Matthias Johansson, Johnson, Mario Lemieux, Marty Murray, Jan Ordina, Mike Stapleton, Streka, Dan Kesa, Sean McEachern, Richard Park, and Rick Tuckett. I think that, I think that they're not as good as they used to be. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lemieux and Jagger and Francis, that's still all very scary. And they have up-and-coming Martin Straka. And they have Larry Murphy that can still do some damage from the back end. But they don't seem as scary as they used to be. And that's good news for us. Alright. So we're going back with Gieba. They're going with Peter Skudra. Let's go ahead and see what happens in this preseason matchup against Pittsburgh. We lost in overtime, 3-2. So not too bad. We managed to take Pittsburgh pretty much to the limit there. We were outshot 47-28. Mario Lemieux was the first star with a hat-trick, 3 goals. Zardy Zalewski, second star with a goal. And Martin Streka, third star with 2 assists. So Deg scored on the power play from McIver and Parrot Juice. And then Zalewski from Andreas Dackel were our goal scorers. Mario Lemieux scored all the goals for his team, but got hurt in the game. Wait a minute. Okay, I guess that's possible because the game ended in overtime. He scored all the goals, so he finished the game, but I guess he got hurt. Okay, that makes sense. He's only day to day anyway, but if he would have had a broken leg or something, I would have been like, wait, how is that possible? Alright, hat trick for Lemieux. We already knew that. Alright, so we have 2 preseason games left. One against Buffalo again and another against Detroit, so I don't need to look at those lineups again. We already saw them. Alright, playing at home against Buffalo. Alright, Guerin on the first line. I like that. With Yashin and Peltonen. Go get him, buddy. Tim Thomas against Dominic Hachette again. This time we win 4-1, so we shut them out 3-0. Now we win 4-1. Liking that. We outshot them 38-25. Kalle Johansson was the first star with a goal. Zardy Zalewski was the second star with 2 assists. And Bill Guerin with a goal was the third star. So Kalle Johansson from Zalewski and Mike Salinger. Benoit Brunet from Dackel and Baker. Marian Osa from Deg and Zalewski. And then in the third period, Bill Guerin from Yashin and Peltonen. Awesome. And we have one more preseason game against the Detroit Red Wings. Zvela's about to come back from that injury of his. And I have Norm McIver that's hurt for 3 days, so hopefully he will be fine to start the season. Alright. Last game of the preseason, they are going with Andy Moog. We are going with Geba. And we tied 3-3. So all in all, we had a pretty good preseason. Is that going to be kind of an indication of what we're going to do during the season? I don't know. My goal is to make the playoffs yet again. I don't want to be disappointed again. I don't want to disappoint anybody again. Maybe if we can stay healthy this year, maybe it's going to happen. I do think we were lacking just a little bit in the previous season, and I don't want to blame everything on the injuries, but the injuries really didn't help. Especially on D, I got so many injured key defensemen that it was really hard to keep up. So hopefully that's going to be a little bit better this year. We'll see. So tied 3-3 against Detroit in the last preseason game. They outshot us 47-30, so that was kind of a shellacking in a way. Nick Lidstrom was the first star with a goal. Andreas Dackel was the second star with a goal as well. And Marty Lapointe, third star with an assist. So who scored for us? We have Alfredson from Christiana Flam and Scott Thornton. Todd Warner from Lonnie Loach and Zardy Zalewski. And Andreas Dackel tied the game from Alexander Deg and Radek Bonk, and then it went in overtime and nobody scored. Alright, we are going to... Alright, this is where we're going to stop. So Robert Zvela is ready to go, awesome. And there's going to be waivers. We're going to go ahead and see who we have to... who we have to send down, who we're keeping, and who we might try to snatch from another team. How many contracts do I have? Like 45, I think? Yeah, I have 45, so if there's a good player available, especially on the left wing, or a pretty solid goaltender, I might go for them. I'm probably not going to snatch too many players because I only have 5 contract slots. So I'm going to go ahead and see. So that's pretty much where we're at. I'm feeling pretty good for this coming season. I do have a pretty good head coach. I have a lot of players that have improved. Like Alfredson, and I think McCabe is now good enough to be able to play in the league, even though he's a 1-star. I think he's coming in along pretty good. Same with Sheldon Surrey. I think they can round off my D pretty decently. We have added at no cost Magnus Arvidsson. That's a decent player. He's not a superstar or anything. So, all in all, I think that we are going to be able to make the playoffs. It probably won't be easy, but I think that the team is relatively well-rounded. At least that's how I feel about it. It's not a crazy talented team, but it's fairly well-rounded. Is how I see it. Wow, Marianosa is already improving. He's already a full star. I might not get to leave him in the minors for very long. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. So we're all good here. And as usual, I want to thank you for tuning in. And if you've liked the video, feel free to like and subscribe. That's always appreciated. And until I roll this game again, see you guys next time. Thank you.